Here are the 3 best props to bet on for the Week 8 Sunday slate presented by SharpStack. The first prop is CeeDee Lamb over 75.5 receiving yards. The only thing I feel like I need to say here is that it's CeeDee Lamb. The dude's been over 110 yards in all 3 of his healthy games played, and even though he's going against Denver, who are currently bottom 5 in receiving yards allowed to wide receivers, and they have shut down corner Pat Surtain, I expect Surtain to shadow George Pickens more, leaving Lamb free to roam around the formation and draw better matchups for him to get open and deal some damage. It's kind of similar to their matchup against Philly in week 1, where George Pickens drew Quinyon Mitchell and Lamb was on Adoree Jackson all night and absolutely tore him apart. So 75 yards here almost feels disrespectful. The second prop is Chase Brown 50+ rushing yards. Brown had the best game of his season last week against the Steelers in the Bengals' first win since Joe Burrow went down, rushing for over 100 yards on just 11 carries. Now he gets a Jets defense that has bled yards to opposing running backs, including 100 yards to Devon Achane, James Cook, and Javonte Williams, 66 yards to Bucky Irving, and 110 total yards to the Panthers duo of Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard last week. Brown himself has been in the 40s in yards in 4 out of 6 games prior to last week, so he's already been really close to 50 yards in not as great of matchups or not as great of offenses with Jake Browning. So now, in a better Joe Flacco offense against a bad run defense and a positive game script where Cincy should be winning most of the game, I expect Chase Brown to deliver another solid performance this week. Before I say the last prop, I wanted to tell you all that I'm getting these plays from the new SharpStack tool on 4for4.com, which shows you the best props to bet on with their AV tool across the NFL, college football, MLB, NBA, and more. Sign up today for a 7-day free trial using the link in the description with code BET for 25% off. And our last play is Tyler Algier 40 or more rushing yards. The Falcons draw a matchup against the Dolphins that should be a fairly easy win for Atlanta at home. And in 3 Falcons wins this year, Algier averages 53 yards and 1 rushing touchdown on 14 carries, and he's been over 10 carries in all 3 games. In fact, he's only been under 10 carries when Atlanta has lost by 2 or more scores. So even if Miami keeps up with Atlanta, Algier can still get to 40 yards against this awful Dolphins defense because he's getting 10 or more carries. But if we assume that Atlanta throttles Miami, which feels more likely, Algier should be involved start to finish, even behind Bijan Robinson, especially at the end of the game if they choose to sit Bijan and ice the game with Algier because they're winning by so much. So 40+ yards and even his over on 10+ carries, if you can find that, are very much in play here.